This episode was filmed at the 13 Trees Coffee House in New Braunfels. To see upcoming events at the 13 Trees, scan the QR code below. If your business would like to be featured on the HCMG podcast, feel free to reach us at hillcountrymusician@gmail.com. We feature the songs and stories of local musicians every week. Thanks for watching and supporting local live music.
Hey there, gang. This is Joe with the Hill Country Musicians Guild. Welcome to another episode of the HCMG podcast. It is my pleasure to be joined by Tracy Weinberg today. We're going to be doing things a little bit differently. This is al fresco, you said? Outside?
Fresco, yeah.
Al fresco. I could really go for a fresco right now. It's only about 90,000 degrees out here, but we decided to give it a spin. We're just going to have some fun. He's going to share some tunes. We'll share some stories, and I'm going to let him take it away.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm going to do a song. You know, they say songwriters often write true stories that never happened, but this is based on a true story that really did happen, and it's called Here to Stay. Yes, my love is here to stay. So glad that I found a way to give my love to you. Oh, I can't believe that I ever let you go. Took 25 years to let you know. Always have loved you. We were lovers for quite some time, till we broke apart. Finally looked deep inside, finally love you with all my heart. So let's make up for all those years, share our laughter and our tears. Our love is here to stay. Yes, fate has given me a second chance to win you back with sweet romance, to love you once again. So I sit down with pen in hand, write you that I am a changed man, and I love you still. You call on the telephone to see if this was real. We met and knew right away just exactly how we did feel. So glad to have you back in my life again. We'll be lovers, we'll be best friends. Our love is here to stay. Yes, our love is here to stay. So glad that we found a way that we can share our love. Our love is here to stay. Our love is here to stay. Love is here to stay. Our love is here to stay. Love is here to stay this time. Our love is here to stay forever. Love is here to stay.
That's wonderful. That's what's the name of that song?
That song's called Here to Stay.
Here to Stay.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's one of my older songs.
Oh, that's still. It's got a really fun. I would say I'm like swing and kind of smoky lounge feel to it.
Yeah.
In fact, like if you were to, I know how can you encapsulate a life and a career, but what would you call yourself if you were to distill it down into genre?
I do kind of blues and swing with a little bit of folk, touch of this and that, with a twist of humor. That's kind of how I describe it.
And do you play like that? I know that you play with different groups. When you're playing with different groups, is it kind of the same genres, or do you branch out with them?
I mean, it's in the same vein. I do a mix. We, when I play as a duo or a trio, do a mix of original songs and covers. A lot of the covers are from the 30s and 40s and 50s, as well as a few more contemporary songs. The sound's a little different when I play in a duo or trio. I have a really fabulous lead guitarist who obviously brings another element, and she's a fabulous lead player. And I do some leads also, not so many when I play solo. So
It's harder to do leads, or when you're, or at least trying to keep people entertained, doing some kind of solo in the middle of being in a solo gig. If you can do that, props to you. That's very tough.
I can on a handful of songs, but I do more when I'm performing in a group because we play rhythm for one another, so it makes a difference.
So tell me about the instrument you got there, because I mean, from a distance, to the naked eye, they would just say that it's a guitar, but it's not.
No, it's not. It's called a dojo, and it's a cross between a dobro. It's got the body of a dobro with the metal cone, but it's got a banjo neck because it's a 5-string instrument. And when I started playing banjo when I was about 16, because everybody played guitar. In retrospect, it was kind of foolish because I never played bluegrass to speak of. And almost immediately after I started playing, I started listening almost exclusively to blues and jazz, especially during my college and early adulthood. I found this instrument. So I played banjo that way, but I found this instrument probably about 20 years ago now. I saw it online, bought it sight unseen, and it really has a mellower sound. My comment about it is it came so an imitation basis. I have an electric, it doesn't all resonate. This is the most.
I guess. Well, it's cool to see those out in the wild. It's nice that they're doing song with the instrument. Have you tried any effects or pedals with it?
I do when I play. Sometimes when I play solo, more show. So some wah-wah and chorus and flange, a couple of different sound effects that give a little more resonance to it and boost the volume a little bit when I'm playing solo. So I like to use it sometimes when I play by myself, depending on the venue and the setting. And then other times I play, like say when I play in a duo or trio, Tracy Weinberg and Gretchen McMahon is my duo. Tracy Weinberg and Friends is my trio or occasional quartet.
Nice.
So I'll use the foot pedal effects then there.
Well, give them a further shout out. Where can we find them?
The music, well, I mean, live, online, whatever.
Online, like.
Well, I have a website, tracyweinberg.com. I have recorded 3 albums. They can be found on most of your streaming sites, Spotify and iTunes and all the other places that your publishing company posts things when they get up there. Those are the 2 most common ones.
Yeah.
I have a YouTube channel. I don't always keep it super up to date, but I have probably 20 or 30 videos up there as well.
That's better than us right now.
Yeah.
Actually, on that point, talking about, it sounds like what you're doing is fairly modern. You're keeping up with social media. You're keeping up with YouTube. How much has the music industry changed since you've started?
Well, I mean, I've been playing a long time. I wouldn't say play serious. I didn't record anything until about 15 years ago, which was in my mid-50s. So by that time, everything was, pretty much digital in terms of recording and putting stuff up there. But I mean, in the long run, since, in the entirety of my life, I mean, it's totally changed. Record labels pretty much don't exist anymore. Vinyl's made a comeback.
They have.
But I haven't spent the money to produce my albums on vinyl. They're quite pricey, and I don't sell enough to make it worth the money. I'll probably be buried with some of my CDs that I've recorded over the years. I've sold a lot of them or given them away. Right now CDs are basically expensive business cards for people that have old technology or a car that still has a CD player in it.
Yeah, I mean, oh gosh, that's been a major change. Like, you can't find a new car today that has a CD player in it. So when people are handing out CDs for like a small concert or something like that, everyone's kind of like, what am I supposed to do with this?
Right.
Because like this computer that we're doing it doesn't have a CD drive on it. Like the closest thing that I have immediately in my house that could play CDs is my DVD player.
Okay.
So I'd have to hook up the DVD
Well,
player.
Yeah, I still, as someone who's been collecting music since, my early teens, I still have LPs and I still have cassettes and I still have CDs. So I mean, I have a turntable and I have
Nice.
a more modern machine that has both a record player and a cassette deck and a CD player built in. The sound quality is mediocre, but that's kind of the way it goes.
It seems to me like there's almost a need out there. It's out of my expertise, but a need to bring back like vinyl pressing in maybe just a smaller way, because there is no value, unfortunately, putting your stuff out in streaming services, especially if you're not marketing your stuff.
Yeah.
If you just put it out there and you're just hoping that someone stumbles upon it, then I'm sorry, I'm being pessimistic about it, but that's the truth. You're going to be
not making any money at it.
But if you were to, it'd be nice if there was like a cheaper, easier way of pressing your stuff.
Right.
Is there? I mean, in the old days, how did they eventually take the finished track and then put it down onto a vinyl? And how would they do that with modern music today?
I don't know enough about it. I mean, I have in my mind a picture of how that's done, but I don't really know that much. I'm sure it's all done digitally now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a record pressing company in Austin, and actually they're in the process. The owners of that are actually taking over Waterloo Records. For those of you that
I've heard of them.
That, they're moving to a new site a few blocks away. But the founder of the company is in his mid 70s, and it's a company that I think this vinyl company has worked with them a long time, and they're actually now going to be the major partners in it. So I'm sure it's all done digitally, but I know that the sound is different on vinyl. The other advantage of vinyl albums is that you can actually read the liner notes without a microscope or enlarging it on your phone.
What actually for the youngers, for the youngins, what is the liner notes?
Yeah, it's the information you put on a recording about who you're thanking or any other thing, or putting the lyrics on, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
I mean, what I did for my most recent recording, I pressed about 100 copies on CDs, and then, but I also have on my own. It was pretty much a self-produced product, anyways. I've made about 50 copies. I've put everything on a thumb drive. You can have all the recordings, plus additional photos, plus the lyric sheet that I didn't put on the CD packaging because of just keeping it simple. Did the artwork myself, so it's all
that's great.
Handmade, so I kept the cost minimal.
Well, it's nice that you, I mean, when you said that you did the art yourself, I've known a lot of art musicians that are just taking the cheap route, and they're just getting quick images made with AI and calling that their album artwork. And I'm like,
nah,
come on. I mean, it doesn't have to look great. It could be a cave drawing, but make it you.
Right. Well, I'm an artist as well, and I do collage and assemblage work. And so
Nice.
the cover for my new recording is one of my collages. And so I photographed it and, uploaded it on, and used that as the image. And then I just, it's a bifold, and I did, the text and some other digital stuff just for the inside. But the artwork on the front cover is my own artwork.
But then when it comes to the album itself, where did you have that done, or did you do it yourself?
I did it through CD Baby.
Oh, I mean, like even like, did you go to a recording studio? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I recorded that. I record the bass player and the husband of my lead guitarist has a studio in his house here in San Marcos, and so we recorded in his studio. We co-produced it. Scott McMahon was the gentleman I worked with, and he did all the mixing with my assistants. But he was definitely the engineer of the recording. He played bass on the album and also did both some real percussion and also some electronic percussion from tracks. And then Gretchen, his wife, and my musical partner did all the lead guitar and rhythm guitar, and I played rhythm on the dojo and also did lead on a couple songs as well too. But it was done in a studio, so it was all done digitally.
Well, I'm going to let you get to another song. Do you mind if it's one of the newer ones that you've been talking about?
To do that, I'll do that.
Let me get this muted for you.
Sure. This is the opening song on the recording. I know you've heard it before, Joe. It's called The Side Effects of Love. Ready and willing, eager to please, nervous and sweaty, weak at the knees. Every time I think of you, love calls a tune I'm dancing to. Whenever I look into your eyes, I get lost in thought. I'm mesmerized by the shade of your skin, the shape of your lips, sweet memory of our first kiss. I sink like a stone, fly like a dove. Nothing sits right, then it fits like a glove. You're the only one I'm dreaming of. Must be the side effects of love. Bip ba ba da dum boo da ba, swa da dum do da ba, ba da boo da di da boo da bip ba ba da 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 ba. Usually I'm self-assured, but now my tongue is tied, I can't speak a word. Holding fast, going slow, really don't know which way to go. Though I feel giddy, I'm wound up tight, hard to relax, can't sleep at night. Willing to walk to the ends of the earth, I'll do anything to prove my worth. I sink like a stone, fly like a dove. Nothing sits right, then it fits like a glove. You're the only one I'm dreaming of. Must be the side effects of love. Call the doctor, call the nurse, each hour in love, it's getting worse. Here's what they told me, and I quote: love doesn't need an antidote. Though I feel giddy, I'm wound up tight, hard to relax, can't sleep at night. Willing to walk to the ends of the earth, I'll do anything to prove my worth. I sink like a stone, fly like a dove. Nothing sits right, then it fits like a glove. You're the only one I'm dreaming of. Must be the side effects of love. La da di da ba, ba da ba ba bi da ba.
Awesome. That is so cool. It's a really, really fun song.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that genre. I love the 30s and 40s, the swing and the blues and the jazz. One thing I just noticed looking carefully at the dojo, if you don't mind holding it up just a little bit higher, is that, granted, for people that couldn't see before, is that it does have the one string that is up higher. Right. But I noticed the one thing is that there is additional frettings for that top string, or at least it looks like there is. Is that for microtonal things? So
it's actually when I play in different keys rather than retuning, because unlike all the tuning, the four major strings have geared tuning, so you can do micro things. The fifth string is direct, so when you turn it, it's much more extreme. It's harder to do it. So I have they're actually little railroad spikes from HO railroads, and I have them at the 6th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret, 9th fret, and 10th fret. So like on this tune, the tune I just played is in D minor, and rather than this string is normally tuned in G when it's open, and it's okay there. But when I play other ones, it's not going to be quite as tuneful. So I tune that up to an A, which is a better fit.
I see. Wow. That's pretty cool.
When I play in different keys, I can tune it in different ways. So if I play an E, I'll tune it up to a B at the 9th fret or a C. So anyways, different tunings for different things. So that's what that's for.
That is so cool. Yeah, I'd seen a lot of project guitars on social media recently. There was one that it was fretless, but it had like what looked like little railroad tracks going all the way down, and you could place the frets where you wanted to. So the people would build it out, regular fretting, regular spacing, but then on occasion they would add a half fret,
Huh.
and then they could create just a little bit of a
Interesting.
microtonal
Okay.
shift. And I think
Okay.
that's very clever. I think that that's a little bit too busy for me.
Yeah. I mean, in the same vein, I have a friend I met at Kerrville Folk Fest many years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and he does workshops on using multiple capos. So you can
Mm,
buy short capos, like more on guitar than this
yeah.
instrument. So you can just fret the first three strings or the first five strings, and leave it in. It's easier to do a drop D or a drop E
Yeah.
tuning that way.
I've heard a lot of Celtic music played
Okay.
in that sense, just having the half capos on.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really
Yeah.
cool. Actually,
So, but the guy that did it actually has, I believe it's, I forgot. I'm sorry. I think it's muscular
huh?
dystrophy. So his
Oh
hands
my
aren't very
goodness.
flexible anymore. So he came up with ways to do multiple capos, so he could play in different tunings without having to retune. And
Mm,
he has limited finger strength,
yeah, I get
and
you.
so he can play more easily using multiple capos rather than trying to retune and do fingerings that are difficult for him now with his limited mobility.
That's one of the scary things to think about for every musician is that your living is your
Your hands and
digits,
your voice.
your hands and your voice,
Yep.
and you've got to foster it. You got to take care of it. A lot of
Yeah.
people blow one or the other out in
Yeah.
the early stages of their lives. I know that it's possible to take care of it. I mean, I see older musicians, not just you, Michael Hess takes very good care of himself, I
Uh-huh.
think. He still has an excellent voice and has incredible guitar playing skills. But then, I mean, to the extreme, Tommy Emmanuel,
Uh-huh.
uh, he's the same age as my dad. He'd be
So
mid
this
70s.
70s.
And he's still playing like he's a 20-year-old
Right. Leo
Slayer.
Kottke too, same type of thing, acoustic guitar. So yeah, I mean, if you get arthritis, it's a problem. I know my partner Gretchen has trigger finger, and so
Ooh.
uh, but she overcomes it. But when we first met, I mean, she played predominantly electric guitar for years.
Mm.
When the first couple of years we played together, she played all acoustic. But now she plays pretty much electric. It's so much easier for her to play an electric guitar. You don't have to press down as hard.
Not
It's
nearly as
much,
hard.
yeah. So she plays electric, and she's fabulous. And I have, it's just a little bit different sound, but she's able to do more with her hand and with the sound effects also with the electric.
You
So
know,
it's much easier for her to play.
I hope I'm not speaking out of turn. I believe Victor Wooten has trigger finger.
Okay.
He's one of my favorite
Yeah,
bassists.
he's amazing.
But he was talking about, especially for it was like showing people. He's like you can see that there is, dexterity in my fingers.
Uh-huh.
But as soon as I bring it up to the bass and I start thinking it, the hand curls up.
Okay.
And so he's been working really, really hard.
That's got to be really challenging.
Yeah, I mean, but he's been playing. I remember seeing videos of him in the '90s. I'm assuming that he's been playing before that. So he must be in his 50s or 60s now.
He,
And
he plays with probably the best banjo player in the world too, with Bella Fleck and the
really,
Fleck tones.
yeah.
I mean, Bella Fleck is. I mean, I'm a banjo player. I've been playing a long time, and I've watched videos of Bella Fleck and of course listened to him, and I have virtually no idea what he's doing. Honestly, just not a clue, because he can play. He plays classical music, he plays jazz, he plays bluegrass, he's played with African musicians, he's played Indian music, he plays with people all over the world, and I have no clue what he does. I saw him play a duo concert a few years back in Austin with Chick Corea, the famed jazz pianist, and they played everything from Earl Monroe to Scarlatti, and without a piece of sheet music in sight, and they played for
just in their heads.
They played for like 2.5 hours. It was amazing. And the range of music they played, from Latin to jazz to classical to bluegrass, both of them was just astonishing.
And the people that were enjoying it the most were probably them. They were just having an absolute ball playing with each other. Yeah, actually, I was wanting to ask you, where has, I guess, music taken you travel-wise? Have you been able to travel abroad playing music or anything like that?
No, I haven't. But that's because I was really a late starter. I started playing music in high school, and I played through college.
Mm-hmm.
And then for about 20 years, I didn't really play at all. I was teaching. My wife and I were both school teachers. We worked many hours. and I was living in a small town where there really wasn't anybody else to play with. So I played just enough not to get any worse. And it wasn't until I was in my early to mid 40s that I started rededicating myself to playing. It was actually when I moved to San Marcos
Mm-hmm.
in the mid 1990s. And then I formed the first band and started performing out in like 2005, 2006. And I really didn't start playing my own music or leading a group until about 2010. And I was still working. I was commuting from San Marcos to Austin. So I've played regionally, in the San Marcos and Hill Country area, kind of between here and Kerrville and up to Austin and beyond. But in my fantasies, I would travel overseas. But in reality, I don't, I haven't taken the time to cultivate the skill set to book musics, and that's on me.
Oh,
But I'm happy. I'm happily married. I have an adult child and a full life, and
it's funny. My dad calls me an adult child.
well, my daughter is. She's an adult, but she's still my daughter. I will always be her parents. So, but I just turned 70, and I I like traveling, but I don't really have, and my wife particularly loves to travel, but she does not really have a desire to follow me around while I go from gig to gig. I admire people that can do that, but playing 15 cities in 20 days doesn't really excite me. I
Exhausting.
don't love driving that much, and I admire people that do that, and I'd love to play festivals, but I'm happy as it can be just being a regional artist and helping other people. I book music at for a monthly art festival in San Marcos, and just run a song circle that I've been doing now for 6 years. So I like playing with other people and helping other people develop confidence or
And
find
plus,
occasional gigs.
you're a member of the Price Center as well.
Well, my wife's the president of the board of the Price Center. I hang art shows, help hang art shows there. I
Nice.
run a monthly song circle there, and I also do twice a month online, the same group called the Tuesday Song Circle. I attend Southwest Regional Folk Alliance, which is coming up, SWRFA for short, which attracts songwriters from all over the country, and I host a room there. And I'm just, I'm a small cog in a big world of music. There are, and if you live in Central Texas, as we both do, there are more and more talented musicians that are moving to this area. A lot of them are moving out of Austin. Other people are still moving in.
That's
But
true.
there are so many talented musicians. It just blows my mind. Both, great songwriters, fabulous singers, people that do both well. And so I'm just, a small part of a big cog, but it brings joy to my life and hopefully to the people I encounter. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, on that, I mean, that's some really, really good points there. I've been thinking a lot about how the Austin situation, they had it. They had the title, the live music capital of the world. We can't call it that anymore.
I'm not sure it ever was.
I mean, Sixth Street had its charm, and there was a lot of live music that's going on there. You have South by Southwest, you have the Austin City Limits, you have all those things which are still there. But the thing I've noticed is they're always attracting people on the outside. That's a place that you stop in the middle of your tour.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to see Gabby Moreno at Austin City Limits, and she was incredible. But it's not like she's a local. It's just a middle of her stop.
And there's a lot of talented musicians there. There are not a lot of venues in Austin that book singer-songwriters, which is kind of what we're focusing on. The Musicians Guild and the bulk of what I do. There aren't a lot of venues that book singer-songwriters regularly. Obviously, musicians that have been in the Austin area a long time still are able to play semi-regularly. There's lots of breweries, and there aren't a lot of venues that are just dedicated to music. There are restaurants, there are breweries, there are wineries, and music is presented there. But I wouldn't say it's a venue where people go just to listen to music. You have the Austin, the ACL studio, I'm trying to think what you call it, the theater where they record that, and there's they bring in touring acts,
Right.
but and there are places where people play, but most of them are not places people go just to listen to music. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's that's what you think of when you think of a music capital. Oh, there's a concert hall where you can go, and there are a handful still. But if you're a musician, you play in bars and you play over people that are out there to have a good time, and
Yeah.
that's fine. I don't have any problem with that. But it's different than a concert setting. How if you want to do concerts, house concerts are probably the way a lot of singer-songwriters make money. My wife and I hosted one sporadically for about 10 years, but we stopped obviously when COVID came along, and we just haven't restarted. I know a lot of, a handful of people that still do them regularly, and that's a way where it's a captive audience, and they're coming here to, they're come to the house concert to listen to music, and songwriters make a hell of a lot more money there.
Mm-hmm.
If you can bring 20 or 30 people in, you can make $500 a night, and people that want to hear your music, and that's definitely a thing that's happening. There's a decent number of them around.
Yeah.
But like any place else, like anything else, there's a lot of competition for limited slots. And, I know people that run them, and they book touring acts from around the country, which is great because it's a place to hear very talented people in a very intimate setting. But
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing that I was thinking about while you were talking. What was it? Yeah, it was the fact of the matter is that, like, with the Hill Country Musicians Guild, we want to bring in anybody of all different walks of life, all different genres, all different levels. The trick about that is that a lot of them come in being like, okay, where are you going to book me? And I'm like, I want to. It's like, I really do. But are you just coffee shop skill? And are you planning on getting any better than that?
Right.
Because you'll have some people that, we have some people that are very new to the instrument, and they're writing songs, which is great. And there is improvement, but I can't, in good faith, put them at certain venues because they're just not there yet.
Yeah.
And I think it's just one of those things of like, you got to show me that you're
Right.
improving as a musician.
Right. And that's what open mics are for. The song circle that I host and other people host, we have people that, have come a long way in the 5 or 6 years or less, and have developed professional skills. But, the song circles that I run and open mics are designed to let anybody play. And that's fine. You don't get better if you don't play out and get comfortable in front of people.
Yeah.
So it's different than being a real professional. And I'm professional. I've been paid for it. If there was a Olympics for music, I wouldn't be an amateur anymore. But but in the big scheme of things, I'm a very small fish, and that's okay. Not everybody can be a big fish.
Just throwing the idea out there. I know that you're kind of you're happy in the position that you were at, but if we were to do like a group trip of musicians, granted, it looks like logistically I would have to figure out how the musicians would be allowed to bring their significant others because they don't want to travel alone. So that makes things a little bit more challenging. But like just the thought of maybe either setting up a festival at some place or just going to a city with a live music presence, and then just going there and doing a couple of bars for like a week or something like that. How would that?
I mean, it'd be interesting. I know. Have you ever been to Redbird Listening Room?
Oh yeah, many times.
Well, I know Dallas Burrow, who runs that one, has taken a group of musicians. They do a trip down, I want to say, to Corpus Christi. They've done a couple of those.
I've done that trip. They take it to Port Aransas.
Port Aransas. I mean, so, that's kind of a, it's kind of think of it as a cultural exchange or something like that. I don't know, that's maybe overstated.
But, more of a cultural siphon.
Yeah. But I mean, there are ways to do it. But again, monetizing stuff like that is hard because, realistically, there's not a lot of money going to venues that promote singer-songwriters, other than big name people, the Willie Nelsons and Bob Dylans and Paul Simons of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that there's certainly, I have friends that make a living doing music full time, but they're not living rich, and some of them have partners that have regular full-time jobs and insurance and things like that. It's a tough way to make a living. The pays, I wasn't playing live. I wasn't booking myself into venues back in the 80s and 90s when I moved to Austin. But people that have been playing that I know that are, of my era and my age and are still playing out, saying, they're making about the same amount of money they were making 40 years ago for
Exactly.
gigs.
Yeah.
So there's, inflation hasn't kept up, whereas ticket prices for stadiums and big tours is, out of the roof. I don't go to concerts anymore. I love music, but there's hardly any musicians I would spend $200 in a night to go see.
You know,
That's me. But
what's interesting on that point is that was on the back end of all of that for before COVID. I was working as an AV technician, and so I was the one backstage for all of
Right.
those things. And the pay back then was pretty bad. You would be expected to travel all over the country.
Right.
And they would be like, well, we'll cover your flight. They'll put you on like Spirit Airlines,
Right.
tape you to the wing.
Right.
And then they would be like, oh, we'll put you in a hotel. And it's like,
Motel 6.
it's a Motel 6 / blood bank, and you're the prime victim. But then you're working hours a day and you're getting paid very little. What's really strange is that apparently there was like a massive countrywide holdout from most of the tech hands. A lot of tech hands during COVID, they weren't getting any work, so they like me, we switched careers, or a lot of them were, trying to start up their own businesses. So when shows started to come back in, they all were getting contacted, going, "Hey, do you still want to do this stuff like that?" And kind of everyone to a person was like, "Not unless you're paying me $30 an hour." And they acquiesced. And so now the AV technicians are doing a lot better than me now. Yeah. But I think that has been used as ammunition to be like, oh, we need to pipe up the costs of everything related to it, because all the musicians, all the tech hands were doing was just trying to make a living. Right. And trying to make it, because you're driving to a couple hours to a different venue every single day.
Sure.
It has to make sense for them. But I mean, at the same time, there's got to be a way for it to make sense for the listener, because they have to travel far and then spend hundreds of dollars to get into the place.
Right.
I mean, is there a show that you've had to turn down? I mean, that you wanted to go, an artist you wanted to go see and you couldn't because they just cost too much?
Oh, yeah, the most recent Paul Simon show. It's supposedly his farewell tour.
Oh man.
And, he was playing at Bass Concert Hall in Austin, and tickets up at the top, at the high end. I mean, at the highest point in the building, the nosebleed seats were going for, $150 to $300, and if you wanted to be floor seats, they were double that or more. But
yeah.
I mean, there are people who do it. I'll say my daughter and son-in-law are huge fans of Taylor Swift, and
we all make mistakes.
And I admire what she's done. She's a good writer, and she is a very savvy businesswoman.
She pays her AV technicians. I'll give her that.
She pays her folks a lot of money. She's very generous with her crew. I mean, she's made a shitload of money, but she's also, she got in at the tail end of the recording industry. And her first couple of albums, she didn't own the rights to her songs, so she's gone back and re-recorded all of those songs on her own label, and she owns the right to all of her songs. Mm-hmm. But they paid $300 to see her. But it was it was an experience. They were there for about 5 hours, and she played a 3-hour set. I mean, it's like people like her. Bruce Springsteen also is famous for doing very long sets. And so
I think Willie used to do long sets too.
So you're getting your money's worth. What's that?
I think Willie used to do long sets as well. Like they were sometimes like ridiculous, like 2-hour encores and stuff like that.
And I'll give him a break now if he's playing shorter sets. He's 92 years old. But I just was chatting with someone today who went. She was in Georgia last week visiting family, and she went to an outdoor venue and she heard it was Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan, and she said Dylan came out, played. He didn't introduce his band, didn't interact with the audience, and he was. And, Willie was 92 years old and chatting it up and having fun and introducing everybody in the group and, having a good time. She said he was fabulous. He's still got it, so more power to him,
Yeah. Actually, I was wondering, what are your thoughts on Steve Martin as a banjo player?
Oh, he's a great banjo player. For years he's had that talent. When he first became popular as a comedian in the late 70s, early 80s, he was a good banjo player then, but it was in service of being a comedian. Mm-hmm. But no, I mean, he's won Grammys for his music with his band, and with it was something that was a Steep Ridge Rangers or something like that. Sorry, but I mean, it's not my favorite type of music, but he's very talented. There are many actors and actresses that are also very talented musicians because they know how to perform. But lots of people, Billy Bob Thornton, Kevin Bacon, all of those folks have had bands.
What was his
it's
name?
not shocking that people who are performers in the acting world are also performers in the music
Johnny
world.
Depp. Yeah, Johnny Depp was. He's known for going on like tour and stuff. Like actually, he before he was really big. Well, he was big. He had already done movies, but before Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff like that, he had like one or two music clubs in L.A.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's great. They're part of the performing arts. So there's lots of great musicians.
Well, on the note of performing arts, is there another song you'd like to play?
Oh, sure, you bet. I'll do an old one. I mentioned before that I describe myself as blues and swing and folk with a touch of humor. This is one of the songs that you might say has a touch of humor. It's called "The Call of the Wild." You get all kinds of calls you might not want to take. Call me any time of the day or night. Call me irresponsible. Call me uptight. When the call of the wild's on the telephone, it's always best to say, I ain't home. I got the call of desire, but you never call back. I'm not a guy who calls the kettle black. The call of the wild's a whole different game. I'll be the first to tell you that he ain't tame. So believe me when I tell you, believe me, it's true. I got stories I can tell. I know a thing or two, like Captain Hook and the crocodile. I can't ever escape the call of the wild. So call the meeting to order, call a spade a spade. You can call for help, I think I got it made. The call of the wild's work is never done. If he's knocking at your door, call 911. I got a call to duty, I got a call to arms. The call of destiny keeps me from harm. The call of the wild always leaves me a wreck. He hunts me down and he calls me collect. So just call me on the carpet or call my bluff. Don't like my style, call the whole thing off. The call of the wild knows it all. Careful how it may be your last call. So believe me when I tell you, believe me, it's true. I got stories I can tell. I know a thing or two, like Captain Hook and the crocodile. I can't ever escape the call of the wild. I can't ever escape the call of the wild. I can't ever escape.
Awesome. Great stuff. So I know we got about, you said we were trying to do a hard out at probably around 4:30 at the latest.
I can go to 5-ish.
All right. Well, we don't have to go that
No,
far.
I
It's
know.
pretty warm out here.
I thought the event was that I'm going to is at 5. It's at 5:30. So
Oh, that's cool.
I've
Cool.
got a half an hour drive.
Yeah. Well, actually, tell me. I mean, there is definitely a significant difference about the San Marcos scene versus the New Braunfels music scene. I like the New Braunfels music scene. It's a bunch of older musicians primarily, but you do have some lovely places like the Redbird Listening Room. You have Green Grove.
Mm-hmm.
You have a lot of places that are kind of embedded in with the suburb of Green.
Mm-hmm.
But on that, you're kind of there. There's that uptight legacy that I battle with all the time because it's like, well, why aren't you playing country Americana or Tejano if you're feeling spicy. And I'm like, because I like all these different genres.
Sure.
So what's the San Marcos scene like?
It's a mixed bag. There aren't really that many venues in San Marcos, which is kind of surprising for a college town.
Yeah.
But there aren't a lot of venues. Um, you know, the scene's very cooperative. Musicians are very friendly with one another.
Yeah.
I don't see it as a cutthroat kind of scene at all. But in terms of places for me to play, there aren't a whole lot. I play in Wimberley more than I play in San Marcos, probably an older demographic. There's more venues. You know, San Marcos is a very economically it's a very poor town. It's a student town, so you've got lots of students,
Right.
and you've got a lot of people that live there that work in service jobs at the university. It's I'm involved with the San Marcos Art League, and I've helped write grants, and I look up the economic info for the city, and the median income of a family in Wimberley and New Braunfels and Kyle is $80,000 to $90,000, and in San Marcos it's about $50,000.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a big disparity. So it's hard for venue owners to pay a lot of money or to book music regularly. I know one woman that runs a very nice venue in town, but it's downtown, and her husband is a well-known regional traveling musician who plays kind of blues and rock, but he doesn't usually play there either. She has to book bands that appeal to the college crowd because that's her audience. And she tried some different things, doing singer-songwriters on Sunday afternoons or early sets for Friday evening, Saturday evening, and they just didn't draw a crowd. And so as much as she might like that music, it's not in her best interest economically to do that. And it's disappointing, but I understand that. She's got a business to run like other, club owners. There's a brewery I used to play at regularly that used to do music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and now they do live music, maybe once a month regularly, and then they do a DJ show once or twice a month as well. But there just wasn't enough people going out there to pay money to do that, and so it's a struggle in San Marcos. It's a struggle in all the areas. But
you think there's a way of fixing it, or is there? Because I agree, the musicians there are so friendly. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
I'm actually, fairly sad about what happened at the Cigar Vault.
Okay.
I really loved what they were doing there. They had a great open mic, a wonderful community, and then they switched out the management and just said, "We're done with it."
Yeah.
And that
And
was
they weren't
right
even
on the
paying
square.
people for that.
They weren't, and people were coming in and buying cigars.
Right.
I was every single time.
Yeah.
There were other people. It was usually this big haze of smoke in there while people were jamming out, and I really, just kind of fell in love with the. I felt like I was amongst the Lost Boys, and so seeing that that's gone, I'm kind of bummed out. I know that there are some people that are trying to create their own things, and I applaud them, but that was right on the square, and I could finish up there. I could go get a slice of pizza, and then I could go down to Cheatham Street as well, and do the open mic there.
Yeah.
But I still do really like the city.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. It's a great place. I love living there. I've been there a long time, and I'm happy, like say, to be involved with that and run song circles there. But in terms of helping people make money at it, there's not much I can do. Like I said, I book a monthly art festival on the square, and I've been doing that for almost 10 years now. But that's 10 times a year, so no one's getting rich on that one. But I run a monthly song circle. I do online song circles. I don't always love open mics, but there's some I like better than others. And I go out to open mics just to see friends and hang out. But in terms of making a living, it's lucky I don't have to make a living doing this because I'd be starving. And I like to think I'm talented, but there's certainly many other people that are as talented or more talented than me. I don't hold any, I have my dreams, but the reality is, I am what I am, and not everybody loves jazz and swing. I don't really do country music. It's not my thing.
Me either.
But I'm a songwriter, and I write songs. So
Actually, on that point, how is the dojo received when you go to like a new open mic? People are like, "What is that?" Or
yeah, I mean, fine. It doesn't sound that weird. It's banjos are more twangy or
I agree. Yeah,
percussive sounding.
I like the sound of
Yeah.
that.
What's funny is I have several friends. One friend in particular who lives in Austin, and she plays a 6-string banjo. It's the inverse of this instrument. Mine is a banjo disguised as a guitar, and she plays a banjitar, which is a guitar disguised as a banjo. So she's playing. So she has an instrument that looks like a banjo, but it's 6-string, and she plays it like a guitar. And I have a instrument that looks like a guitar, but it's a 5-string instrument that's really a banjo. So that confuses people whenever I've played in public with her. But I mean, it's well received. People sometimes wonder what it is, but
Mm-hmm.
it's fine. So
Yeah, I'm wondering. Like we talked about multiple cities that have large music scenes to them, like Kyle, Wimberley, New Braunfels, San Marcos. I personally believe the world needs more music. It can't hurt,
yeah,
especially more genres of music. But you have so many people that want to do something monetary based off of it. They want to make a living off of it. Is is that dream gone, or is there
it's called cover bands.
cover bands? I
I
mean,
mean, I
yeah.
was just up in Columbia, Missouri, visiting my brother. Columbia is a big college town. It's where the University of Missouri is, and went out a couple times to events or to one place outdoors. It's on the river. It's a beautiful venue,
Mm,
right on the river, and it's a band playing 80s and 90s cover music,
mm.
and they were very good. And I went to a place in San Marcos recently. It was a cover band. I mean, they build themselves stuff. I know the woman that's the lead singer and several of the band members, and they're very talented musicians, and they were fabulous. But they're doing all covers of 80s to 2000 songs. I mean, it was fun and entertaining, but for people that like to write songs,
Yeah.
a lot of people when they go out want something that's comfortable and they're familiar with, and so cover bands are a way of making money. There's so many tribute bands now. And
Yeah, there's like 6 Beatle tribute
I know.
bands.
I mean, and it's great, but it's not great. It's better than nothing. But it's I do covers of songs, but I don't have any desire to play all covers, and I don't have a desire to cover only one artist or one period of time. And so that's I
One thing
can't change the world.
I've noticed on the Sunday morning open mics or Sunday afternoon
Uh-huh.
is that I'll play like if I'm up there by myself, no one else has shown up, and I just need to play through a set. Uh, I'll uh, I'll get up there and I'll start playing covers because you'll usually get a couple people drinking in there,
Right.
and I'll play Chicago or I'll play the Beatles or Queen sometimes, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's great, that's great." And as soon as I play one of my songs, it's just back to the drink.
Right.
It's like people are so hungry for the familiar,
Yeah.
and I mean, at one point when you're like, did you? Like when you first heard that song on the radio, did you change the channel because you were like, "Oh, I'm not familiar with that song at all"? I don't know. It's so weird.
Yeah. I mean, so you know, what do? You want an audience, you've got to play to the audience, and it just depends what your purposes are. Like say, mine has never, for various reasons, I had another career as an educator, and
Mm-hmm.
and I like playing music, and I did it as a hobby and a passion and something I love doing. But it's a tough way to make a living.
It is.
So
Well, I'd love to hear another song of yours if that's
Sure.
cool.
this is one of my newer songs. I guess you'd say this one is autobiographical because it's called "I Ain't Dead Yet." I'm sick and tired of being tired and sick. Gonna need help, gonna need it quick. I'm dead tired as a man can be. Baby, please come and rescue me. Every now and then I rise from the dead, think for a while and go back to bed. Asleep when awake, awake when asleep. But 6 feet under is way too deep. Dead to the world, I'm dead on my feet. Check my heart, make sure there's a beat. I was dead tired as a man can get, but let me remind you I ain't dead yet. I'm dog tired, tired to the bone, counting sheep till you get back home. You've been so good, I've been good as dead, but I'm sick and tired of this fog in my head. My get up and go has got up and went. My legs feel like a bag of cement, but I'm dead set, I'm gonna break this curse. Things'll get better, they can't get worse. Dead to the world, I'm dead on my feet. Check my heart, make sure there's a beat. I was dead tired as a man can get, but let me remind you I ain't dead yet. At a dead end, nowhere to run. I'm a dead ringer for my mother's son. Someday soon I'll return and thank you kindly for your concern. One fine morning I'll jump out of bed, feeling just grand and have a clear head. My tired life will be over and done, and I'll go out and have some fun. 'Cause I ain't dead, I'm light on my feet. Come a little closer and hear my heartbeat. I was dead tired as a man can get, but just like I said, I ain't dead yet. Just like I said, I ain't dead yet. Hey, just like I said, I ain't dead yet.
He ain't dead yet.
Ain't dead yet. That's the story of my life.
That's awesome. That'd be, that's just, it's such a cool song. It does remind me, it's like a mixture between Cab Calloway and then who wrote Willie the Weeper?
Oh.
I'm trying to remember. Dave Van Ronk.
Dave Van Ronk. Okay.
Dave Van Ronk. I feel like it's just such a fun mashup between those two. Mainly because one's Willie the Weeper and the other one's Minnie the Moocher.
Yeah,
so.
right, exactly. So, yeah, I'm definitely influenced by them and the other people that I would say are kind of influences directly or indirectly. Louis Armstrong, definitely, vocally, and Tom Waits, I would say, and maybe Leon Redbone, for those of you stretching way back. He did a lot of old songs as well as old songs new songs that sounded like old songs.
And now, you said that you had a turntable. You collect vinyl as well?
I did. I mean, I have a much slimmer collection than I used to have. I still have maybe 150 or 200 vinyl albums. I used to have probably 1,000. So
that's 200 more than I have.
Okay, yeah, I still do.
I like what Rick Beato was talking about when it came to just the comeback of physical media, because he just boiled it down to sweat equity. For the cost of one album a month, I can have every single song that ever existed. But somehow, all of the joy has been taken out of it, having everything at my fingertips.
Yeah.
And so it'd be nice to bring back the scarcity at all.
Well, there was, when I was younger, I mean, it's like anyone who's a collector of anything, the hunt is part of the excitement.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you were back before there was digital recordings, I would go to used record stores and I'd look for albums by people I liked or maybe people I'd heard of but never heard. Maybe you'd be lucky enough to hear them on a radio station if you lived in a community that had a good radio station. And now, I mean, my wife and I are both artists and we do assemblage and collage and dioramas and we like old stuff. So we just took a trip to Missouri, and along the way and the way back, we stop at antique stores and junk stores and we walk through them, and we're very selective about what we buy,
Mm-hmm.
but it's fun looking at stuff, maybe sometimes figuring out what the hell it is, or what could, this is a cool rusted piece of something. Could I put this into an assemblage? Or, I do collage, and I like old magazines, old Life magazines, National Geographics.
Right.
I use those as backgrounds, and, taking something old and creating something new. That's what musicians do too, because musicians, like artists, are kind of the sum of their influences.
That's true.
And whatever you create, it generally doesn't come out of a vacuum. It's hard to create anything that's totally new. In Western music, there's only 12 tones. Those 12 tones have been probably put together every different way that's possible. But people still find novel approaches to doing things, and so they take what they know and they apply it in new ways. And so I don't know if a scarcity is the answer, but the idea of the hunt, of the joy
Mm-hmm.
of finding a new artist or a new musician or a new way of putting a song together, or whatever. Even if it's just for you, maybe someone else has done it, but you can't hear everything in the world.
Well, by scarcity, yeah, that's very true. You can't. And that's one of the things I'm sad about. It's like, what if I missed the thing that I actually really, really would enjoy and would change my life?
Right.
But I guess I'm going to have to write it.
Yeah.
It's just don't think about it for too much, people. You'll crash. But what I was thinking about was when I meant by scarcity is like utilizing the digital world, being online, having an online thumbprint, but then creating, instead of having everything online at everyone's fingertips, like having morsels. And then people are like, whoa, that's really good. I want to hear the whole song. And like, there's only one way that you're going to hear the whole song, and it's if you like buy the record or something like that. And I that sounds like that salesman methodology of you sell a man a bottle of water by giving him crackers first. It's like, yeah, it's true. But the fact of the matter is that I want them to enjoy it. And then at the same time, I want them, if they were to support one of the musicians in the Musicians Guild, I want that musician to actually see true returns from their recorded work, which we don't see it now.
The flip side of, giving them a morsel, I mean, isn't that what TikTok was started on? It was like, 20 to 50-second clips.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm not doing that. I haven't delved that deeply into social media, but I know a lot of people that use it effectively. But the flip side of that is, the short attention span syndrome.
Oh yeah, it's definitely getting worse.
But that's always been the case. I mean, what I've been told by people who judge songwriting competitions is they'll put on your song, and if it doesn't grab them in the first 10 or 15 seconds,
they're done.
You're done.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what happens to development? It's the same thing with writing a book. Maybe a TV show, there's TV series, and it's like, well, the first episode wasn't great, but if you give it time to grow on you and develop the characters, well, then you're hooked and you want to watch, all season or all 10 seasons or whatever. But if you only have a short clip, and it may not be fully representative of the range of content or emotion or humor or whatever it may be, or that you are creating. So it's I don't have the answers. I don't
either.
Keep writing songs and get played and get out and play and meet other people that do that, and what happens.
It kind of reminds me. I don't know. Have you had the pleasure of meeting Patrick Sullivan?
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick. I really like his music. I like the stories that he tells. But like on the attention span thing, you have to be prepared to sit down and listen to a 6-7 minute song with a minute at the beginning of just silence or a quiet strumming, because he builds things up, and he has an understanding for like the building it up and bringing in the weight of the subject at hand. But I was like, man, I do like your stuff, but I understand why at a bar or something like that, people are going to try to talk over you, because who wants to listen to like just a little bit of strumming? The open mic scenario where it's like everyone be quiet and listen to him, it is the perfect medium, because then you start understanding what he's trying to do. I don't know. Yeah,
it's a crapshoot though, because I appreciate rooms where silence is preferred. Yet by the same token, sometimes places like that can be a little bit like a mausoleum too,
Yeah.
because you want to talk about the song, or you want to say, hey, it was really cool, or have time in between songs or whatever. I don't know what the happy medium is there. I mean, that's why I like doing the song circle. We'll play a song, and then we might have 2 or 3 minutes or 5 minutes talking about the song, or who wrote that song, or if it's original or if it's a cover, who's it by, what's it like, and so that's why the song circles that I'm involved with are meaningful. And I get a lot of feedback from friends that join them. Some have been doing it for the 6+ years I've been doing it. Others are newcomers, but they enjoy the atmosphere, they enjoy the camaraderie. And so it's and I understand when you're at a venue like the Red Bird or Cheatham Street and it's silence only, I understand the purpose of that, but it's also
it's not for everyone.
It's not always fun to hang out there long term, because you want to get up and move around, or you want to talk to someone a little bit. So I mean, you go outside and do that, and that's fine. But
that is true. Yeah,
it's music should just be part of life. So.
I think so. Is there any musicians you've come in contact with in or out of the guild that you've been very impressed by? That local musicians, I mean.
Oh yeah, a ton of them. One of my there's a lot of people. Probably the most talented and one of the most talented musicians was a gentleman named Gary Taylor. He lives in Dripping Springs right now. He is a master guitarist. He's a brilliant writer, and he also has the longest fingers I've ever seen. He can stretch them 6 or 7 frets without much difficulty.
Wow!
He's got a beautiful voice. He also plays instrumental. Can play classical. He's fabulous. Another friend of mine, and these are people that come to my song circle too. A guy named Jim Hartwell has just a beautiful voice. He writes both originals and
I think
covers.
I may have met Jim.
Yeah, he comes to open mics sometimes in the area too. There's I could think of many people, and
Actually, on that note, I forgot you're playing at Zelix, right, on the 15th.
I'm part of a larger scene, and I don't know the specifics yet, but Des Foy, who I know is organizing an event at Zelix. That's a week from tomorrow night, and I'm playing a 20 to 30 minute set. He said he was going to get back the details to me probably today. On a larger scale, I'm playing at Willow Lake Mercantile and Watering Hole in Wimberley on, I guess it's 3 weeks from tonight, Thursday, August 28th.
Nice.
I'll be there with my trio, Tracy Weinberg and friends, with Gretchen McMahon on guitar and Scotty McMahon on bass. And I might ask some friends to play during the breaks as well. We did that a couple weeks ago when I was there and had a lot of fun with that. And then I've got a lot of things going on in October. I have like 4 or 5 gigs already in October. So it seems like feast and famine. And playing outside, it's fun playing outside, but playing outside in the summer is
absolute torture.
Less fun than other things. I also book music for Arts Squared, which is a monthly arts event in San Marcos. We take a break in July and August because none of the art vendors want to be outside in those months, and it's hard to run an art festival if you don't have any artists. But we kick back up in September. I'll have Justin James Bridges and his daughter, Callie B., who are super talented. She's 8 years old and is a very talented harmonica player.
You can play harmonica, yeah.
They're a lot of fun. So they'll be there then. I'll be playing Arts Squared in October with my band, and then we've got another one later in October at Halloween. It's our spooky market, and I've got a band I haven't heard, but it comes highly recommended. They're called By Curious George, which I think is a fabulous name for a band. And so I know it's. And then, anyways, there's music there. That's usually the second Saturday of the month in the afternoon from 1 to 3. Down on the Courthouse Square in San Marcos. If any of you out there listening want to be a part of our Tuesday Song Circle, you can contact me, tracyweinberg.com or trweinberg@yahoo.com. I'll be glad to give you the way you can join that. We do one live circle a month, usually the third Tuesday of the month, although that varies a little bit depending on scheduling issues. And then I also do them on Zoom twice a month, usually the second and fourth Tuesdays. It's funny. I started the Tuesday Song Circle in 2019 because there were no song circles or open mics on Tuesday. Now there's like 5.
There's too many of them now.
I know. So I take one a month off so I can go out to one of the other circles. But there's a bunch of them going on. But go out and enjoy live music. Go listen, go play.
Yeah.
Get involved. Support your local artists.
We want to support the local musicians every way that we possibly can.
Yeah.
Actually, we're getting pretty close to the end here. That hour 15 went by quickly. Would you like to close up the day with another song?
Yeah, is it okay to do a cover song?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to get you in trouble or anything. But I always end my shows with this song because I'll tell you, I won't do a cover song. I'll do an original song, but it's also a song of hope. Because in trying times like these, and boy, they are trying, it's always good to have some hope and have a dream. So actually, I'll do this. This is actually the title of my first album. It's called Mountain of Dreams. Got a world of trouble on my mind, searching for some kind of rhyme, like hopeless thoughts in hopeless rhymes, and helpful people in helpless times. Yeah, I need some dreams to make me grow. I'll take them fast, I'll take them slow. Stop wondering about which way to go. All this worrying's a debt I don't owe. I got a river of dreams to swim sometimes, mountains of dreams waiting to be climbed, oceans of dreams that are fathoms deep, and miles of dreams to go before I sleep. Well, I've been told once and I've been told twice, I'm living in a fool's paradise. I've been given good advice, and to get what I want, gonna pay the price. Won't be wasting time, I won't look back. Keep moving forward and stay on track. Stuck in my mind, I can't forget there's better days ahead. I've no regrets. I got a river of dreams to swim sometimes, mountains of dreams waiting to be climbed, oceans of dreams that are fathoms deep, and miles of dreams to go before I sleep. I'm gonna use my head and stick to the plan, so I can be ready when the time's at hand. A steady focus with a single aim. Open my heart, let the good remain. Well, I tell myself through thick and thin, know where I'm going, know where I've been. I won't be on the outside looking in. I'm ready to go. Let's begin. I got a river of dreams to swim sometimes, mountains of dreams waiting to be climbed, oceans of dreams that are fathoms deep, miles of dreams to go before I sleep, and miles of dreams to go before I sleep, and miles of dreams to go before I sleep.
Awesome. That is awesome.
All right.
Man,
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. This has been so much fun. It's been very warm, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a very fun experience to be able to meet more musicians. Again, congratulations being one of the musicians of the month. It's nice to actually record a musician of the month on the month that they've been given.
Concept. Yeah, they can work that out.
Yeah, and so we'll be trying to get Megan up here fairly soon, and I think up next we will be recording Mayor Willems.
Okay.
So, and then, yeah, he
Really
was from previous month, and then I have 2 more to catch up on because the first 2 were Michael Hess and Joe Meyer,
Yeah.
and so
All
we'll hopefully get them
talented
done.
folks.
It'll be really cool. But anyways, that's it for us today.
Okay.
Thank you so much
Thank you,
for
Joe.
joining
It's
us,
a pleasure.
and yeah, we will see you on the next one.
Okay.
Take care.